Myself Rajesh from Atna Technologies. Today's session will be handled by my colleague Mr. Venkat Manoj. Before getting into today's session, let me briefly explain about our company, Atna Technologies. Hope I am audible to everyone.
Yes, sir, you are audible.
Yes.
Okay. Uh, Atna Technologies is a leading enterprise solution company specialized in Microsoft Dynamics, ERPs, CRM, SharePoint, analytics, and automation. Last 15 years of journey, we are blessed with 75 plus happy customers in multiple domains. These multiple domains means this include manufacturing, retail sector, service, distribution, logistics, and so on. So these are the major industry we are serving now. Our analytics tool helps organization to do a diagnostic analysis, and this will help the organization, basically the management, to find out what is happening in the business and how this can be improved. And also, once all the data are in, the right data are in, this analysis can move on to predictive analysis also. What will happen in your next quarter or next year? What is going to happen? That is called predictive analysis. Or if you do like this, if you do a certain activity, what will be the business, or where will be the business? So this is what analytics we do. And majority of our people are stuck with a lot of repetitive activities in our organization or in a daily life. Repetitive activities in the sense, this can be a follow-ups or report generation, or it can be a data collection. Like that, many repetitive activity will be doing on our daily in our daily life. So we are spending a lot of our productive manpower to do these kind of repetitive activities. So there is a solution from our side, and it's called RPA, robotic process automation. So what it will do is, our automation helps the organization to automate repetitive tasks. In the sense, without manual intervention, we will be able to handle the repetitive tasks by automating those things with our automated tools, basically. This will definitely improve the organization's data accuracy and productivity. So this is in general, this is what we do. Now the next portion, what we do is Azure, Microsoft Azure. All of you aware of that, the cloud solutions. The name of the cloud solution from Microsoft is Azure, and Azure gives freedom and flexibility to manage and deploy your application. Many of us are working from remote locations due to the pandemic situation as of now, and if you imagine your entire infrastructure, IT infrastructure is in office or in the factory, and the people are not available there to manage that. So it will be a very difficult situation, right? So basically the solution is cloud. The cloud gives you security and high availability of the system, and that includes the site recovery, backups, and other things are the important factors of Microsoft Azure Cloud. Other than this, we do have multiple point solutions developed by Atna, and few solutions we are partnered with few of our partners. Few of our point solutions are an application to capture your daily production using a mobile device, a van sales, vans for the distribution company, a van sales with a mobile offline database application, wherever if you don't have a connectivity also will be able to do the billing, and the overall equipment efficiency, the OEE calculation in a manufacturing environment. E-invoicing, definitely today's session about e-invoicing. Invoicing is also one of our product, and few other applications which we partnered with is HR and payroll, an analytics tool Insight delivered, and a planning schedule activity partnered with a company called Asprova. So these are the activities we do other than Microsoft Dynamics product. And today we are discussing on e-invoicing. Venkat Manoj will be taking up this actually, and this session is for your information. This session is being recorded and available for your reference in future. And also we would love to hear from you with your feedbacks and queries end of this session. So Venkat Manoj, over to you.
Thank you, sir. Thanks for your wonderful introduction about Atna. Good day, everyone. Hope everyone feeling safe and fine during this pandemic. Hope I'm audible. If you're able to hear me, right? My screen is visible, right?
Yes.
Yes.
Thank you. Yes. In this webinar, we'll cover some basics of e-invoicing for the benefits of participants. Also, we'll discuss about some advanced integration details with a detailed demo. So before that, we will love to give you an overview about our e-invoicing solution, which has been recently introduced in a short span of time. We have 12 plus customers and GSTNs, and we have generated almost more than 75,000 e-invoices plus 12,500 e-way bills being generated. We'll quickly move on to the main topic for the day. In every business case, supplier raise invoice to buyer for the goods or services rendered during a particular period and collect payment for supplies or services. After invoicing rollout, we have to prepare invoice by uploading specified particulars of invoice in the form GST invoice 1, which is preferred by government, on invoice registration portal, and obtain an invoice reference number and a QR code. These two fields are to be added while sending an invoice to the buyer. Invoice registration portal is introduced by the GST department to monitor exchange of invoice data alone. IRN number is a 64-digit unique reference generated in reference to exchange of invoice data. Invoicing is not about invoice being a soft copy like PDF. Also, e-invoicing doesn't mean generation of invoice by a government portal. E-invoicing is only a pass-through portal for validating the sales performed. As per the recent notification, a company whose turnover based on PAN crosses 50 crore during a financial year 2017-18 has to mandatorily generate e-invoice. There are some exemptions to it. SEZ units, insurance and banking companies, also passenger transport services and multiplex cinema admissions are exempted from issuing an e-invoice. So there are some basic new terminologies. It's revolving around the e-invoicing space after the introduction. We already know IRN and IRP. We have seen in the some previous slides. Application program interface, which connects the system to government invoice portal. This is the main function of an API. Every company cannot access government IRP portal directly. Hence, through GST Suvidha providers, we need to reach IRP portal in case of connecting from ERPs. JSON. It's a JavaScript object notation. It's a standalone format followed by GST department for generating e-invoice in the e-invoicing portal. Taxpayer also need this JSON format while uploading their e-invoice from their system to government's portal. So after this e-invoicing existence, there comes a standard schema format suggested by government. Business are already generating invoices in their ERPs, accounting billing software. There is no change to it. They can follow the same practice. Schema acts as an uniform standard for ERP billing like accounting software providers to build utility in their solution packages to prepare e-invoice for reporting to IRP portal. This schema will act as a reporting environment. Schema ensures e-invoice is machine readable, interoperable from any systems like Tally, Navision, SAP, anything. Schema facilitates machine-to-machine exchange of invoice data. Also, what the taxpayers needs to do after existence of e-invoicing, they need to report their invoices to IRP portal. The taxpayers needs a system utility to report e-invoice details in a JSON format to IRP portal, and finally they will get a signed e-invoice in the JSON format, which will be mentioned in their regular invoices, and they can send it to their clients. IRP will only be a pass-through portal, as we already said. It will not store or archive any e-invoice data. So next, we are coming into the advanced topic, like what are all the methods like we integrate e-invoice. There are 3 common methods for reporting e-invoices. First, the manual method of filling details in Excel like JSON template provided by the government and uploading in the portal, which takes time and it's a manual activity. In the second method, users can directly connect their ERP by APIs through government portal. In the third method, users can directly connect their ERP billing systems by APIs through GSPs to report invoices in the government portal. So, the main importance of GSP. GST Suvidha providers is considered as an enabler or authorized intermediary for businesses to access GST portal and services. They help us to comply the provisions of GST law through their GST software and applications with the help of APIs. It is important to note that the taxpayer will not be able to connect to government GST network directly, as it is not available online for all the users for some security purposes. They can only connect through the official government sponsored G2B application, or more commonly by applications developed by private licensed GSPs. Benefits of using a GSP-based API integration. So users will have end-to-end data encryption, and mainly GSP will not hold of any of your data. As we already said, it will be only a pass-through portal. API's tokens are managed as per government guidelines. API amendments as per the government guidelines are automatically updated and periodically provided. The updates the users will get. It's the most cost-effective environment, and one-time integration efforts, then the users will be get to it. You can easily generate invoice within seconds. So we have now covered the advanced, what are all the techniques like invoice being generated, what is the role of GSPs. Now we'll go through some use cases for e-invoicing generation. So as we already said, when the turnover of a particular GST PAN-based turnover is more than 500 crores, they can use 3 techniques. They can use direct integration. They can, through a GSP, they can the user can do it, or manual integration through IRP portal. Then they can generate invoices automatically, or like whatever they want. But in the second use case, when the turnover is less than 500 crores, the users are not allowed to integrate directly to IRP portal. So they have to do either manual way or through the GSPs. So to reach the IRP portal for generating e-invoices. So these are all the main methods of generating invoices. Now what we are going to do is we'll quickly see a demo on e-invoicing integration, like how an e-invoice has been generated on a real-time basis in an ERP, and you can able to see how quickly it is getting generated. So we'll move on to the demo. Welcome to the demo. In this demonstration, we look into the e-invoicing and e-waybill application developed by Atma Technologies. In our e-invoicing application, first we'll go through the Excel upload method. Second, we'll walk through the real-time ERP integration technique by interacting with government GST portal. Also, we'll take you through the generation of IRN and e-waybill with the help of one of our ERP. After that, in case of cancellation required, how to perform the same. Last step, by passing a credit note in ERP after the cancellation to complete the procedure. First, we will start with our e-invoicing application. We are beginning with an analytical dashboard which has the details of count of invoices generated for the particular day, e-waybill generated on the day, cancelled IRN and e-waybill details, API consumption details, and some other basic details. Also, some insights and comparison on IRN generation being represented graphically. The insights can be modified according to each and every user's convenience. In the sales invoice section, we can overlook the details of sales made during the particular period with invoice details and real-time integration status. Apart from this, we can also get the details of credit notes and e-waybill generation status against the particular invoice. Detailed view of sales invoice is available in the action header. Also, we can print invoice and send to multiple clients directly with the help of our application. Generated IRN can be cancelled within 24 hours of invoice generation as per the guidelines mandated. In case of manual Excel upload, that is the first method, the users can fill the details in design template developed by Atma Technologies and upload in sales invoice section for creating the invoices. Every time, users can fill details in Excel and upload to generate IRN in the e-invoicing application. Second method is the ERP integration through API. We'll quickly connect with one of our ERP and check the real-time status of IRN generation plus other details. This is our ERP and we are going to post a sales invoice and watch the real-time IRN and e-waybill generation performed automatically. We have posted a model sales invoice for selling bicycles. After posting a sales invoice, we can refresh the same. Now we'll check posted sales invoice and generate IRN on real-time basis. By opting generate IRN and by selecting the image tick box of generate IRN, The system generates IRN by interacting with government's IRP portal and provide 64-digit IRN number with a QR code to us. After refreshing the particular selection, system generates 64-digit IRN hashtag with the QR code. The same can be printed as an invoice and immediately distributed to our clients. After generating IRN, we can generate EV bill by entering basic vehicle details. By selecting transport mode as road, vehicle number can be entered. Then vehicle type, whether it's regular or ODC. After filling the basic details, we can opt generate EV bill and generate EV bill for the particular sales invoice as well. This will take a moment. This is the real-time integration by the help of the IRP portal. Now I'll select the refresh. See, we've got the acknowledgement and EV bill has been generated. In case by mistakenly we have generated IRN and the same needs to be cancelled. Yes, the same can be performed within 24 hours of IRN generation. Initially, we have generated IRN, and with the help of IRN details, the system generates EV bill number. We want to cancel IRN alone. We can cancel IRN within 24 hours of generating the particular invoice. This is all same also been interacted with GST portal and give us the real-time integration status. Now we can see the cancel request has been processed for cancelling the IRN. In case if we are generating EV bill as well as IRN out of the IRP portal, and if we want to cancel both EV bill as well as IRN, first we have to cancel the EV bill, then only the system allows us to cancel the IRN generated. Now we have already cancelled the IRN. Since it's an ERP, we have to book a credit memo against the particular sales invoice generated to complete the procedure. I've already created the credit memo to save time. Now we'll post the credit memo and we'll quickly move on to our e-invoicing application. After posting the credit memo, we can see the details of invoices. For example, here we'll take the invoice number 49, for which we have cancelled the IRN alone in our ERP. The real-time status is getting reflected in our e-invoicing portal as well. That's it for the demo. Thanks for the opportunity and open for Q&A.
API integration is one-time process. Is it chargeable or free of cost?
API integration is one-time effort, Liju. Obviously, based on your GSTN details, like if you have one or two, the cost differs. But definitely after that one-time integration, you can generate e-invoicing within seconds. There will be no manual intervention. It will be automatically generated. So it saves a lot of time and efforts. And also it's error-free. That is the most important advantage of using an API based integration.
Yes, participants, any other queries? We have a couple of queries. One is from Suji R. Around 20,000 API is free of one company. How could I manage whether it is reach the limit?
First, Mohammed, you can.
Yeah. So, Suji, this is Mohammed. So we
Okay.
have a matrix that is for every customer account what we have. We have a matrix that we will circulate on monthly or on periodic basis based on your request. So that from that you can get to know what is the API that has been used so far for a customer account.
Yeah. Okay. Okay.
Okay.
Okay.
And I can see there is a next question posted by Liju.
Yeah.
How Acna technology will integrate with government portal? Beginning, you said there should very few GST Suvedha providers. Yes. So there is like two kind of criteria there to integrate with government portal. If your company is more than 500 crore turnover, government will give you an access to integrate directly with the GST portal itself. That is the only case if your turnover has crossed 500 crore. Okay. And if you are less than 500 crore, the only way is you have to integrate with the GSP Suvedha provider. So we have an account with the GSP Suvedha provider. We are in partnership with the GSP Suvedha provider. So what we will do on behalf, we take the APIs from the GST Suvedha provider, and we will integrate that with your ERP. So whenever you are once the invoice has been generated in your ERP, it can connect with the GSP this one APIs, and can be your invoicing can be filed in the government portal through the API. So we have an GSP account, so we will do that integration on behalf.
And Venkat, one more question.
Yeah.
Suppose any software company is not registered GST Suvedha, then is it possible to the customer can directly get the license for API integration?
Sorry, that is it is based on the turnover side. When the turnover is more than 500 crores, they can do themselves with the API registrations. Like the government as of now given the turnover limit as 500 crores. But if they are below like less than 500 crores, they cannot directly touch IRP portal, but only with the help of GSP, they can able to interact through API to touch the government portal. So this turnover limit has been prescribed, and it as of today it is the same. They can check the details in the sandbox environment portal, so where the test environment, all the details are being provided. Hope I've answered the question right. So
From Liju only.
Yeah. Okay. Okay. So you have a turnover more than 500 crore, which means like the government have already given you access to the sandbox and sandbox environment. So you have to prove that with all your infrastructures and with API developments and other things, you have to pass all the test cases in the sandbox environment. Then the access to the live environment will be granted. Currently, you would already have access to the sandbox environment if you are more than 500 crore taxpayer slab. Okay, and but in live you will not get access until you have to prove all the APIs that has been successfully passing through the sandbox environment. So there you have to pass through all the test cases provided by the government, and then only the access will be granted to the production environment.
So, Mohammed, one related question on that: is it individual entity turnover or is it a group company turnover?
It's entity turnover, PAN-wise turnover.
Yeah.
If I have a PAN number and if I have a multiple locations, let's say I have 5 locations in India and I have a single PAN number. So which means for all the 5 locations, I would have a single PAN number. And if that PAN number has a turnover of more than 500 crore, I would get access to the sandbox environment, which is a direct integration from the customer portal to the government website.
Okay.
This entire process is called as a whitelisting. So you have to get whitelisted from the GST department. Then you can directly integrate.
So we are giving a 40% discount until July 20th for e-invoicing solution. And participants who are interested in Microsoft Azure solutions, we are ready to have a one-on-one discussion and offer a POC credit for your requirement. Either it's a disaster plan or migrating your production or development environment into cloud. We are very open for a discussion. Also, who are interested in any migrating emailing solution from any other solutions like Zimbra or G Shoot to OThWay, we are very open to help you on the occasions. We thank each and everyone for your time in spending our webinar. So we'll be reaching to you on upcoming webinars with new topics. Thank you all.